8 signs, it's love. Number 1, when someone waits the entire day just to have a small conversation with you. Number 2, when someone cries just because you're crying. Number 3, when they're sleepy but they stay awake just because you're not sleepy. 4, when they scold you for not taking care of yourself. 5, when they're excited just by hearing your name. 6, when they understand you when everyone else is judging you. 7, when they respect your feelings and thoughts. And 8, when they're willing to make sacrifices for your happiness. If you need advice, check out my bio.
Here's the secret to high productivity and avoiding burnout. The hardest part of being a leader or a founder is knowing where to focus and avoiding burnout. Being boss doesn't mean you don't have a boss, and the first employee you have to manage is yourself. I'm going to show you how you go from this, where there's a lot of energy and a lot of goals, but largely unmanaged, to this, where you have controlled energy and singular goals that are stacked up. Here's how you do it. You have to measure your time first. Then you can manage and refine it. You'll track your workflow for 2 weeks, writing down when you begin and finish every task. Write down the type of work, the category, and the description. In week 2, you'll flip that and analyze your categories. See where they add up. Now you have an idea of where you're spending time, and you can begin to shape it, identify distractions, and shape your priorities to achieve next week's goals. Updated sketches are available through the link in my bio.
Did you know that stop signs weren't always red? In the 1920s, sign makers knew red would be the perfect color to catch drivers' attention from a distance. However, there was no red dye that wouldn't fade over time, so stop signs were actually made yellow with black letters. It wasn't until the mid-1950s that sign makers started using a fade-resistant coating and the red stop sign was born. Today, those signature red stop signs are a bestseller among sign makers, as they're often the most vandalized.
Mom tips for stress/shopping with baby. Tip 1, pool noodles on the front and rear of the seat to help with head bumps. Tip 2, shopping cart cover. Make sure it has a pillow for comfort and stability. Tip 3, give your little one a DIY teething necklace made with baby cereal and dental floss. Remember to always keep your eye on your baby while they are eating. Tip 4, park really close to the cart return. Believe me, it's worth it.
Which telly tie size is best for you? First is the tiny. It's really great for the end of a braid. The small size is best for thin to medium hair, works well in all types of hair. The large size is best if you have medium to thicker hair. It's my personal favorite.
How to survive a shark attack. This could save your life. First off, don't panic or splash around. It will only antagonize the shark. Maintain eye contact and make sure the shark is always in front of you. Stretch your body out and make yourself look bigger. Most importantly, never ever play dead. Finally, slowly back off and swim to shore. Send this video to your friends. You could save their life.
This is aerogel, the world's lightest, that is least dense solid. This piece has a mass of just 1.22 grams. That is only a few times the mass of the same volume of air, which kind of makes sense because it is 99.8% air.
Here's how I cook a steak. Some black gold, black steak. This fat side always down first. Some black flaky salt.
This is one of the biggest plot twists to ever occur in real life. Nicholas Barclay vanished from a basketball game near his house in 1994. For 3 whole years, they searched and searched but could never find him. But then one day, he showed up after 3 years. Everybody in the family was extremely excited to see him, and they had a huge family reunion. But something was off about Nicholas. It was so off that everyone began to take notice after time. And here's what it was. When Nicholas had disappeared, he had blonde hair and bright blue eyes. But when he finally showed up 3 years later, both his blonde hair and blue eyes were gone and were instead replaced by brown eyes and brown hair. And the weirdest part was he had a French accent. I mean, it was totally possible that he had went to France for 3 years and came back. But something was just really off about Nicholas. When finally asked about it, he said that his hair had been dyed and chemicals had caused his eyes to turn brown. He also stated that he lived in Europe, which changed his accent. And obviously the family believed him and let him stay in the house for 6 months. But then one day the FBI took samples of his hair and blood, and what they found shocked the entire family. Follow for part 2.